That's actually something I hate, keeping up appearances. Again, I keep my appearance well checked and stuff, but if I'm poor, I'm not trying to keep up appearances. I'm trying to live, and I don't care who says anything about that. Okay, hello, people. And I've been scrolling, getting my daily scrolls in, and I see this video from China Observer. China's middle class is collapsing fast, 100 million fa- falling back into poverty. Let's get straight into it.
说一个真实的故事，告诉你中产
Let me tell you a true story about how China's middle class is slowly losing wealth. I have a friend. He worked for
I
many
mean, this
years
is
and saved
happening
some
in China, but let's be honest, this been happened to the United States. Like, we barely have a middle class. You have to be upper middle class, or you're low. Like, you're not poor, but you're not wealthy. You're just lower middle class. Like, you're still living paycheck to paycheck. Like, the middle class gone.
money. He met a city official at a dinner. The official invited him to invest locally and promised to help push projects forward. My friend thought this was a rare opportunity with backing from leadership, so he put all his savings in. 6 months later, the money was gone, and the project hadn't moved. And all the so called resources and promises turned out to be empty words. Many middle class people
Ooh,
lose their wealth this way. Someone draws a tempting picture, and they bet everything they
I'm gonna be
have.
honest
我
with
上
you.
个礼
That seems like self error because why would you dump all your money into like a city project plan? Like, I barely trust my own officials. I mean, they're United States ones, so I mean, they don't really count. They can't be trusted. But again, why would you do that?
拜把我名下的一个别墅的房产给卖了。
Last week, I sold the villa I owned. I felt awful after selling because I had already lost over 1 million yuan just on renovation.
How much is 1 million yuan? Hold up, 1 million yuan USD. Damn. Okay. Yikes. Yeah. I don't know how to tell you this, but pack it up. 100. Oh, that's almost 200K on renovations. I mean, I know it's a villa, but damn.
It wasn't an asset anymore, it was a liability. Every year, property fees, heating, and maintenance drained cash flow. Now, the most important thing for me isn't keeping up appearances, it's protecting the money I have
That's
left.
actually something I hate, keeping up appearances. Again, I keep my appearance well checked and stuff, but if I'm poor, I'm not trying to keep up appearances. I'm trying to live, and I don't care who says anything about that. Like, sure, when you hit a certain level of wealth, you try to keep up appearances, but yet again, you're already wealthy. Why do you need to care about what people think? Unless it's your job. Unless it's your job.
I used to think middle class losing wealth was far from me. Now I understand. When money is flowing, expenses feel small. Once income tightens, what really drags you down isn't one big cost, but those yearly fixed outflows. Mortgages, property fees, maintenance, education, family costs. You can't stop paying any of them. That's when you realize the middle class has very little
Fair.
risk tolerance. The biggest lesson I've learned these years is that an era can make some people wealthy and wipe out
Yep.
others. When opportunities appear, many earn money. When they vanish, people give it all back. To live steadily, middle class families need to live like ordinary people. Don't invest
Middle class people are just a little bit wealthier poor people. Like that can't be hard to understand, right? Like you're not much richer than a poorer person. If we're being all honest. Like, sure, you have a little bit more money to buy an extra happy meal, but that's about it.
recklessly. Don't chase status. Don't drain cash flow to maintain appearances.
I mean,
In
I
middle
feel like that's
age, it's
just
not about
general advice there.
proving success. It's about keeping yourself and your
Again,
family from
general
falling.
advice.
Being able to cut losses, set aside pride, and protect the household, that is
Hmm.
clarity. Recently, the topic, 7 Ways the Middle Class Goes Broke, went viral online in China. On June 7th, it sparked heated discussions that hit Weibo trending. On that day, headline
I
article
mean,
writer and Weibo
what are the
influencer
7 ways people go broke? The 7 ways middle class go broke. Lifestyle creep, debt traps, and systemic economic pressure. Too big home purchases, lifestyle creep. As income rises, standards of living immediately follow. Financing nice. Oh, so it's like being bougie, but you don't have like the money to be bougie. Huh. It means you gotta
Internet
be
analyst
smart with
Yu
your money.
Bing said, "We are witnessing history again. The speed at which middle class families go bankrupt is accelerating like never before. There
I
used to
mean,
be 3
China's
ways to
just
go
getting the same thing that happened to the US already.
broke: buying a house with
Yep.
loans, having a wife who doesn't work, and putting children in international schools. But that's no longer enough. Now the bankruptcy patterns have upgraded to 7. He listed the 7 ways as 1. Reckless
Oh, they already did it
entrepreneurship,
for me, but I got
2.
an AI version.
High mortgages, 3. Full-time stay-at-home spouse, 4. Overscheduling kids with extra classes, 5. Blind investing, 6. Neglecting health, and 7. Keeping up with consumer comparisons. Overscheduling kids means parents sign them up for tutoring, hobby classes, and competitions, turning education into a bottomless pit.
Okay, color me crazy, but I wouldn't make my child do something that they didn't want to do. Like I'm sure Asian families are different from black ones. We can tell that, but I'm not gonna sign my child up for piano lessons that she doesn't want to do. Like I don't care about appearances. I like sure you get those child comparisons, but like my child is my child, not yours. I raise him however I feel like it.
This topic exploded because it hit real pain points for many families. One netizen said the 7 ways is basically a checklist circulating online of risky behaviors that can financially
Oof.
collapse middle class families. It reflects collective anxiety under economic slowdown, stagnant income, rising expenses, and low risk tolerance. This isn't a formal economics report, just ordinary people expressing real pressure. Others pointed out, the core of these 7 is high debt, single income, and blind optimism. Basically, using high leverage to imitate a lifestyle beyond
Exactly.
your means. Once income fluctuates, the whole chain collapses. Another netizen remarked, in recent years, friends have seen house prices halved, stocks plummet, big company graduates opening restaurants and losing everything. There are lots of cases
I know I shouldn't be laughing because this man is in pain, but that is
plummet,
such
big
a
company
wacky bro. You got the wobbly did hammer, bro. What? What are you? I can't.
graduates opening restaurants and losing everything. There are lots of cases like this. Don't think the 7 ways only happen in big cities like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. In smaller cities, similar cases are rising. One government employee said he earns 6,200 yuan a month. His wife works as an accountant in a private company, earning 3,500 yuan a month. With year-end bonuses, their total yearly income is about 130,000 yuan. That sounds decent, at least stable in a county city. But once they calculate expenses, problems quickly appear. Their son is studying at a private university in the
Mm.
provincial capital. Tuition and living expenses add up to at least 50,000 yuan a year. Their daughter is in high school, with tutoring costs about 10,000 yuan a year. Both sets of grandparents are farmers with no pensions, and the couple sends them 1,000 yuan each a month. Their mortgage balance is 110,000 yuan, with monthly payments of 2,800 yuan. So, even though the income seems stable, all expenses are essential: education, elder support, mortgage, daily living. Nothing can stop. Each month, when the salary arrives, it's quickly split across mortgage, kids' education, elders' living costs, and everyday
Okay.
expenses. In the end, they can't save anything, and sometimes even dip into their savings. They still have 300,000 yuan in the bank, but at the current spending rate, it shrinks by 20 to 30,000 yuan every year. Beyond the 7 ways the middle class goes broke, there's another popular online idea called the 300,000 reversal rule.
最近在网上经常刷到一个30万返贫定律。
Recently, I keep seeing this online. It's called the 300,000 reversal rule. It doesn't mean ordinary people can only ever earn 300,000 yuan. It means many people, as soon as they save up 300,000 yuan, start falling into
Bingo.
consumption traps. Once they have some money, desires grow. Things they once hesitated to buy, now they buy. Cars they didn't dare to finance, now they do. Houses they never imagined, now they plan down payments. Car loans, mortgages, renovations, travel, education, suddenly all hit at once. The money they work so hard to save gets drained. Overnight, they go from having savings to being paycheck to paycheck or even in debt. The deeper reason is that their understanding hasn't kept up with their wealth. Saving 300,000 yuan is hard for
Also,
ordinary.
fun fact: people, I think this is true. Let me look it up. But people in the U.S. that make over 500K still live paycheck to paycheck. I think. Eh, And I am right. Bingo. I mean, that's not a proud thing to be ratted about. But anyways, yeah, roughly 40% of Americans earning over 500K a month, I mean, a year, report living paycheck to paycheck. Like, it's just about lifestyle. They just want the lifestyle, and they don't care how they get it.
People, but keeping it is even harder. Avoid reckless investing,
Yep.
blind entrepreneurship, unnecessary borrowing, and consumerist pressure.
And again, I must
Maintain
say, I
stable
am
income.
broke and poor. I have no money, and I am 17. So, like, you should not take financial advice from me, but being conservative with your money goes a long way. I have no income.
And only then can wealth truly grow.
Recently, there's even a new trend online, jokingly called AI reversal. What does that mean? In the past 2 years, AI suddenly became hot. People hear terms like AI computing power, large language models, token overseas, new productivity, and think that the next big opportunity has arrived. Before, middle-class reversal might have been caused by mortgages, car loans, private schools, or blind entrepreneurship. Now, for the new middle class, their 4 triggers are Claude Max 20X, Codex Pro 20X, Gemini Ultra, plus
Claude
private
Max 20X? What? What is that? I'm not looking that up.
networks and 2-hour AI servers. Here's why. Many people just want to use AI to be more efficient, but it quickly becomes tool anxiety. Today, they hear Claude is good at writing, so they subscribe. Tomorrow it's said that Codex is strong at coding, so they buy that too. The next day, Gemini's long context
I'm gonna
model
be
seems
honest, the only
unmissable.
thing that I use is ChatGPT because, like, for YouTube and helping, like, get ideas is pretty powerful. And that's about it. But I do waste a lot of their money doing that.
Add proxies, API quotas, cloud servers, plugins, automation tools, and the monthly bill ends up higher than gym memberships, video subscriptions, and cloud storage combined.
Just go to
The
the
problem
gym.
is, many buy AI tools not because they need them, but because they fear falling behind. If others say AI makes money, they panic. Others set up intelligent agents, run automation, make AI websites. They think just buying the tools is enough to make money. The result is that tools pile up, projects fail, income stays the same.
Why would they think that? Like, genuine question, why would they think that? because you can have all the tools in the world, but if you don't know how to use any of them, they're useless to you. They're absolutely useless to you. Like, sure, you can make money with a computer, right? But yet again, it depends if you know how to use a computer. Like, sure, you can hammer things, and most people know how to use a hammer. But if you give it to someone that doesn't know how to hammer things, they have that tool for no reason. Like, the better thing to do is to get the tools right for like what you're trying to do, and that's it. That's like wholly it. And just don't get anything more. You can learn more, sure. You can watch videos, you can read a book, you can learn way more. But it doesn't mean you have to buy tools for everything. That one's
But
confusing me.
monthly bills keep rising. Chinese authorities have been emphasizing concepts like AI computing power, token overseas, and new productivity, which has fueled the public's imagination about AI opportunities.
I
In the
just think
past,
AI
many
is a
chased
huge bubble, and I'm gonna see it pop in my lifetime. And I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people are probably gonna be mad, but I don't really care. The moment that pops, I'm gonna be like, "I told you so." It's nothing more than efficiency. It just upgrades. It's like an add-on to human intelligence, but you still need the human intelligence.
after houses, stocks, live stream sales, or e commerce. Now, hope is placed on AI. People think that buying a few subscriptions, connecting to APIs, renting servers, will quickly bring overseas traffic and dollar income. But reality isn't that simple. Success in AI overseas isn't just about using tools, it requires full
Hmm.
business capability. This includes product positioning, technical development, English content, user operations, and other highly specialized tasks. If any part fails, the whole project can't succeed. More importantly, AI projects often have ongoing costs. As long as a website is online, server fees continue. Each user call to the model generates token costs, and the more traffic, the higher the expense. If users don't pay and exploit the service, losses grow even faster. So some people think they're starting an AI business, but in reality, they're just prepaying for the revenue of platforms, cloud providers, tool companies, and course vendors. Some argue the real issue isn't the bankruptcy pattern itself, but that earning money has become harder in recent years. People always consumed, bought houses, and sent children to classes, so why aren't more people going bankrupt? The truth is, with the economy slowing, income is tougher to earn.
一个年入50万的家庭，晚上唯一的娱乐
A family earning 500,000 yuan a year suddenly finds that their only evening activity is looking for jobs. This is the real life of my 35-year-old friend. Her husband is a middle manager at a big tech company. She was a full-time mom for several years. The child goes to an international kindergarten, and their mortgage is nearly 20,000 yuan a month.
International kindergarten. I mean, it's probably in the name, but I'm low-key stupid. Is like, is there no free education here? Why does everything need to be private?
The past few years, life was comfortable. Then her husband's salary was cut by a third. They knew it wasn't a normal pay cut. It was the company trying to push him out. He started submitting resumes, and she couldn't just sit still. She told me now both of them barely have any evening entertainment. Before, they watched movies or chatted. Now they're on their laptops at home, updating resumes and browsing job posts. I roughly calculated. A yearly income of 500,000 yuan cut by a third leaves about 330,000 yuan. The mortgage is 20,000 yuan a month, or 240,000 yuan a year. That's over 70% of their income just for the mortgage. This doesn't even include children's tuition, household expenses, elder support, or future medical risks. This is the reality many middle-class families face. Income may drop only a third, but the family sense of security can collapse. Middle-class downward mobility often isn't sudden bankruptcy. It starts with falling income while living costs remain unchanged. According to official statistics, in the past 5 years, China sold about 8.33 billion square meters of new commercial housing. Assuming 100 square meters per unit, that's over 83 million new homes. In the same period, about 25 million second-hand homes were sold. Combined, that's around 108 million units. By the end of 2024, there were roughly 494 million households in China. This means about 22% of families likely bought homes near the market's peak, roughly 100 million households locked into high housing prices. Even harsher is the shrinkage of assets. In 2021, China's total housing market value was estimated at about 450 trillion yuan. If housing prices drop 30%, that means roughly 135 trillion yuan of housing wealth disappears. That's equivalent to China's entire 2024 GDP. For a long time, many thought houses were the safest asset, a source of security, retirement money, and a guarantee for children's future. Now, houses have become debt. Even more alarming, once the real estate market cools, the whole economic cycle starts bleeding. Local governments relying on land-based revenue run out of funds. The state and monopolistic state-owned enterprises then have to find money elsewhere. Where does the money come from? First, price increases. Utilities like water, electricity, gas, oil, transportation, property management, and public services may all rise gradually. Individually, it seems small, but together, household fixed costs keep climbing. Second, hidden charges. Fines, inspections, service fees, late fees, they can become more frequent. What used to be minor squeezes on citizens can now feel like digging out the roots. Third, shrinking services and measurement disputes. Disputes over electricity meters, water meters, gas meters, and fuel station readings have become common in recent years. Ordinary people end up bearing higher living costs. Then, environmental degradation continues, and spaces for questioning or defending one's rights shrink further. Netizen Zheng Zhen posted on X, "The lower class is often the main force of rebellion, the middle class is often the main force of reform, and the elites are usually the conservative
True
force."
statement. I give it a statement.
Historically, this has proven true. After the 8-year war of resistance, many small landlords, urban citizens, and middle-class families went bankrupt and fell into poverty. Social structures were severely torn, and this is often seen as a key reason why the Kuomintang lost popular support and ultimately failed in the Civil War. This pattern has repeated in other historical contexts. This is the Chinese regime's most dangerous and pressing issue today. If the middle class falls into widespread poverty, the social stability structure begins to loosen. When the middle class shifts from being a reform force to a disappointed group, and the lower class moves from being dissatisfied to rebelling, while the elites remain conservative, social conflicts intensify.
That actually might be happening in the US because god damn these costs are high. And I gotta go to like university like in a few months. It's looking bleak.
Some argue that modern middle-class bankruptcy isn't just about the economy or the political system. It's also a cognitive trap. One root cause is misjudging one's own position. Many earn wages and rely on loans for assets with very little risk tolerance.
I want to say this. For most things in your life, you want to buy it outright. If you can. Or at least half. Because like I get you can put like 10% on a house or like even 5% in like some areas. But like I gotta do if I'm buying a house, I gotta do at least 40% down and lower the mortgage payment as low as possible.
But psychologically, they see themselves as upper class. They think that owning a home, driving a car, sending children to good schools, spending on weekends, and traveling on holidays already puts them in a higher social tier. The deeper problem is that this upper class illusion doesn't come out of nowhere. The Chinese Communist Party has long promoted ideas like everyone is equal and seize control of your life. On the surface, it talks about equality, but in reality, it creates a dangerous misconception. Ordinary people start to believe they naturally deserve an upper-class lifestyle. The issue is, the wealthy have assets, resources, and safety nets. Ordinary middle-class people often only have wages, loans, and pressure. They aren't truly getting rich, they're using debt to imitate the rich. They aren't proving
I
success,
I
they're
actually
borrowing.
never got that. Wanting to imitate rich people. Like, sure, I want the food they have. Sure, I like the houses they got. The cars they drive are cool. But if I can't afford that, I'm not getting that. And if I can get it with that, I'm not getting it with that. Like, like there's going to come a time where you actually many people are going to have to ask themselves, why did I take on all this money when I knew I couldn't pay it back? For the lifestyle, the moment you bought the purse already dropped 80% in value. What's the point in doing that? You want a new Chanel bag, you want a Bugatti there, you want a 10,000 square feet home. Like like is living modestly really that bad of a lifestyle? Is it really that bad?
From the future. Some netizens even say it might be better to just admit society has tiers. At least then, people would know their position, and their desires would have limits. The worst is when people are told everyone is equal, but resources are layered, encouraged to climb up, yet forced to chase upper-class life with loans. The result is that social mobility doesn't happen. Desires are magnified, and stress and suffering grow along with them.
My bad, I was
Second,
doing something.
TV shows and short video algorithms create illusions
Fair.
about life. In dramas, unemployment can lead to success, entrepreneurship can pay off, divorce can be a fresh start, and buying a house or car is just scenery. But in reality,
Oh yeah,
mortgages,
that
tuition, medical bills,
reminds me. Oh yeah, that's my bad. That was but that reminds me that of when the Chinese government had to make sure people stopped with the with the you're gonna date a CEO thing. You ever seen those TikToks with the Y/N and then with the little CEO guy? They
elder
probably still
care,
have those.
and layoffs rarely get shown. Short videos are even more direct. They show people buying cars, houses, starting businesses, achieving wealth, but never show the debts, luck, resources, or failures behind it. Watching this repeatedly, many start to believe that if they dare to dream, work hard, and take loans, they too can be the
Your first problem is taking loans.
protagonist of life. But reality isn't a feel-good show. Most people aren't the main character. They're ordinary, paying loans on time, covering bills, and facing the constant risk of being laid off. Third, there's government and social messaging. Officials and society keep telling you, work hard, buy property, consume, push your kids, and believe that tomorrow will be better. When housing prices rise, buying a home is called getting on board. When education gets competitive, overscheduling kids is responsible parenting.
I wouldn't overschedule my kid. I don't care. I don't care who whines in the comments, but I'm not doing that. I'm not. My kid will learn what he wants to learn within reason. Within reason. But he doesn't need 2,000 lessons on um piano, dancing, ballerinas, and he doesn't need that unless he wants to do it.
When there's a business boom, ordinary people are encouraged to take a risk. These measures sound positive, but when risks appear, the costs fall on individuals and families. If housing prices drop, it's the buyers who carry the mortgage burden. If a startup fails, it's the entrepreneur who owes the debt. If education spending doesn't pay off, parents bear the anxiety. When income falls, the first thing to break is family cash flow. Looking at all these factors together, it's more than personal overspending. It's a social extraction system. First, create desire, then encourage debt. First package dreams, then transfer risk. First convince the middle class they are rising, then trap them in mortgages, education, medical bills, consumption, and job insecurity. The middle class thinks they're chasing a better life, but step by step, they become fuel in the debt machine. Ironically, a regime that long survives by overextending, exploiting, and extracting the middle class will ultimately see the social cost of widespread middle class impoverishment come back to threaten its own stability.
I'm thinking that's the end, but like I'm gonna leave it off here. You shouldn't you shouldn't chase a lifestyle. Like I get that some stuff are cool and you want things, but yet again, live within your means. It's not that bad to be ordinary. It really isn't.